The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to the crowds, "When you see a cloud rising in the west, you say immediately that it is going to rain. And so it does. And when you notice that the wind is blowing from the south, you say that it's going to be hot. And so it is. You hypocrites, you know how to interpret the appearance of the earth and the sky. Why do you not know how to interpret the present time? Why do you not judge for yourselves what is right? If you are to go with your opponent before a magistrate, make an effort to settle the matter on the way. Otherwise, your opponent will turn you over to the judge, and the judge hand you over to the constable, and the constable throw you into prison. I say to you, you will not be released until you have paid the last penny." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let us talk about Manny Pacquiao. He was the guy who won 8 division championships undefeated. Well, he is a world champion. What made him so? When you look at his opponents, generally, they're bigger than him. So in other words, they have a longer reach. Bago pa niya maabutan, nasuntok na siya. And they are not simple fighters too. They have good credentials, good records. But what made Manny Pacquiao win his bouts, even though he was kind of underdog? And one of the opponents was saying, you know, you slug it out with him, then you just don't know where the blows are coming from. He is just too fast. Ang bilis ng banat ni Manny Pacquiao na hindi mo na alam kung saan nanggagaling yung mga suntok bago malaman tinamaan ka ng kaliwat kanan. You don't know where the blows are coming from. You don't know. So you cannot cover yourself. So you cannot defend yourself properly. So you cannot do your plans and so on. And this spells your defeat. You don't know. And that's the style of Manny Pacquiao. And he won. And maybe many times, that is also what is basically missing or wrong with us. We don't know. We don't know ourselves enough. We don't know what is that particular attitude that keeps us going back, you know. You cannot move on in the spirit. You always come back, a faith that is apathetic, that sometimes we cannot be generous with people. You just know there's something missing. You just know there's something wrong with me. The question is, what is it? Ang bilis mo magalit sa mga anak mo. Ang dali mo magalit sa yaya. Nagagalit ka sa bayan. Nagagalit ka sa pagtaas ng presyo. Nagagalit ka sa kapitbahay mo. Nagagalit ka sa parish priest mo. Ay lahat ng tao kinagagalitan mo. So ang tanong, bakit ka magaliting tao? Unang-una pa lamang, aminin mo. Name it. Pinpoint. What is wrong with me? There is the kind of attitude na doon nagsisimula ang lahat. At dahil doon, mainitin ang ulo mo, makikipag-away ka. Pag nakikipag-away ka, magiging madamot ka. Pag nakikipag-away ka, ayaw mo na magdasal. Pag nakikipag-away ka, magsisimula lahat doon. Ang sisti niyan, all of us have this capital, basic negative thing in us, passion. Lahat tayo meron yan. And until and unless we are able to pinpoint it, we are always going to end up as a slave to it. And we will just keep coming back. It takes a lot of reflection, self-introspection, para aminin, to know what it is. Naturally, ayaw natin gawin yan. Kasi natural na nakakahiya. Aaminin ko bang ako yung mahiyaing tao, walang ginagawa? Ako yung mainiting ulo ng tao, laging napapaaway. Aaminin mo bang ako yung maarting tao na wala na akong... Siyempre ayaw nating aminin yun. So the first task in the spiritual journey is to name, to clarify, what is wrong with me? Pinpoint it. Ang nangyayari, ang kadalasan, meron tayong listahan ng mga kasalanan na ginagawa natin, ibabato natin sa kumpisal. But what is it? We will never improve in the spiritual life until and unless we clarify this. Self-introspection, reflection. But the journey does not stop there. Kailangan, after naming it, you claim it. Aaminin mo, tatanggapin mo na ganito ako. Meaning, it is part of my story. Bahagi yan ng pagkatao ko, bahagi yan ng mga pinagdaanan ko sa buhay. Eto na tayo ngayon. O sige, kunyari lang, inaamin ko, ako yung mainitin na ulong tao. Ang tanong, bakit? Bakit ka ganon? Pinanganak akong ganito eh. Kasi minano ko to sa tatay ko. Hindi ganon yun. Siguro kaya ka magagaliting tao, may mga pinagdaanan ka nun dati, nung bata ka pa, about being helpless. Yung wala kang magawa, walang tumutulong sa'yo, hirap na hirap ka. Siyempre magagalit ka. Hindi mo tatanggapin yung magre-rebelde ka sa sitwasyon. Ang natira, yung galit. Nakalimutan mo na kung bakit nagkaganon. So you have to claim, balikan mo yung kwento mo. And generally, again, hindi madali ito. Kasi ito mga pangit na karanasang ito, na nagbunga ng ganong klaseng pagkatao sa iyo, kinakalimutan mo na yan. Nakalibing na yan. Baliwala na yan. Ayaw mo nang pansinin yan. Kaya, to go back to it, to open the cover of our stories, it's not gonna be easy. You're going to go into what is unconscious and subconscious in yourself. You have to claim it, na bahagi ito ng aking pagkatao. Simple lang yan. As Julie Andrews was singing in The Sound of Music, nothing comes from nothing. Nothing ever could. It's just a question of cause and effect. Kung ganito ako, dahil nung una, ano yun? Ano yung pinanggalingan? What is the cause of my being an angry person? What is the cause kung bakit ako mahiyaing tao? What is the cause bakit madamot ako? What is the cause bakit hindi ako makontento sa buhay? Saan nang gagaling yan? And that is part of the journey. And it's gonna take a lot of humility and courage to do so. You are uncovering what is unpleasant. But you know, the journey does not end there. Na, malas akong tao, pinagdaan. No, it does not end there. Now you are an adult. You are not anymore that helpless little girl or boy. Bata ka nun, helpless ka nun. Excuse me, laki mo na, no? Now, yung hinahanap mo dati, dahil bata ka, kailangan mo yung makuha, malaki ka na, ikaw na magbibigay ngayon. Nung bata ka, naghahanap ka ng pagmamahal at pagkalinga. Tama naman, bata ka eh. Ngayon matanda ka na, ikaw ang magbibigay ng pagmamahal at pagkalinga. Kaya ko nga napansin, ito yung hinahanap ko sa buhay, kaya ako nagkaganito. Now, you aim it. The way to overcome all of this is, use that one for something good. Ito na tayo, kunyari, ito tayo. Kaya ako magagaliting tao kasi helpless ako dati. Bakit ako naging helpless? Kasi gusto ko maganda ang buhay ko. Gusto ko maayos. So, yun ang maganda dun. So, gumawa ka ngayon na maayos na buhay. Ayusin mo yung buhay ng mga anak mo. Put it on the positive. In other words, meron kang hinahanap na maganda dati na hindi mabuo-buo. Yan ang gawin mo ngayon. This is the mission of your life. What you have been looking for is not something you cry for till your death. It is something that you give to people. Now, this is a choice that you have to make. But unless you have named it, claimed it, you can never aim it. You can never put it into good use. So in other words, yung mga pinagdaanan natin, maganda, pangit, masaya, masaklap, lahat yan may kahulugan. They have to shape us to be giving people na yung mismong hinahanap natin sa buhay ay hindi lang para sa atin, kundi yun ay ibibigay natin sa ibang tao. Yun yung ating paglilingkod. Yun yung ating contribution sa buhay ng ibang tao. That is how we show love. That is how we fulfill the command of God, love your neighbor. The very wounds that I suffer are the gifts that I give to people. Name it, claim it, aim it, then finally, tame it. Kung ikaw ay isang magagaliting tao, huwag kang mag-alala. Nakalibing ka na, galit ka pa. Kung ikaw ay mayabang na tao, Diyos ko, 10 taong ka ng patay, umiiral pa rin ang kayabangan mo sa mundo. In other words, yung ating ganyang negative, positive, yung capital sin na gano'n, dadalhin natin yan hanggang hukay. Pero sinasabi ko, pwede mong gawin yan. You can turn the tables and do it into something good. But how do I do that? In other words, paulit-ulit yan eh. It will always be there. It is our personal cross in life. Ito yung sinasabi ni Jesus, carry your cross. Yun eh. So now, you tame it. In other words, go back to being humble. Beg the Lord to overcome it. And that was what St. Paul was telling us in the first reading. I want to do good. And I just find myself doing the bad things in the first place that I did not want to do. Not the good that in the first place I wanted to do. Ba't ako ganon? There is something wrong with me. He said, there is sin in my heart. There is something wrong with me. Sana tinuloy yung pagbasa nun eh. And 3 times, I begged the Lord to take it away from me. Beg the Lord. Help me, Lord. Give me your grace to tame my anger. Tulungan mo ko, Panginoon, na maibsa naman tong kaartihan ko sa buhay. Tulungan mo ko, Panginoon, na makontento na ako kung anong meron. Tulungan mo ko, Panginoon. Help me. And you know, the Lord will just tell you, I want to help you, but open your heart to me. Lord, how do I open my heart to you? Simple, my child. Forgive. Be a forgiving person. When you forgive your neighbor, when you forgive your life, what you are actually doing is you are embracing yourself. You are beginning to love yourself for who you are, the princess and the witch bound together, the good and the bad in you. when you forgive, you actually welcome what is bad out there that triggers you. So if you forgive that person or whatever that triggers you, you are actually embracing, accepting who you are. Simple, my child. Learn to forgive. That's where it starts, and that's where it ends.